What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. Brian McTire, aka BOMAC, Crawford's trainer, called Errol Spence average but strong. A lot of uproar about that. A lot of people going crazy about his comments, and I can't really blame him, man. This is not the first time that BOMAC has basically cheap shot at Errol Spence, man. You remember when Errol Spence was first proposed to fight Terrence Crawford? BOMAC came out and said, "Yeah, we want that fight. We're gonna tear him a new asshole." That's when Errol Spence was running through everybody, man. He was the boogeyman. A lot of people say he's not. He's become more of a businessman, but that's when he was the true boogeyman. And BOMAC really, made it look like that Terrence wouldn't have too much problem beating him. And that's basically what he's saying now, man. He did say he had good footwork, good sound fundamentals, so he kind of contradicted himself. Average fighter not gonna have all that if he's average. Average fighter is a guy that's basically got limited footwork, got limited skills, got limited fundamentals. They got to outwill their opponents in a lot of cases. That's what the average fighter does. So kind of was a contradiction in that. So I think it was just BOMAC just got supreme confidence in this fighter, Terrence Crawford, defeating Errol Spence. He thinks Terrence Crawford is on another level compared to Errol Spence. I think he does believe Errol Spence is one of the top fighters out there, but I think he thinks his fighter is one of the special fighters and is going to go down as one of the all-time greats, in his opinion. I think that's basically where he's coming from. As far as the fight goes, man, it's going to be a good fight if they ever fight. I've said on my videos that I don't know if this fight will take place, because I think the money is going to come into play if this fight ever comes off. Because once Errol, if he beats Porter, then he gets the Pacquiao fight, which is, we don't know. Pacquiao's got to, make that decision. He's the one that's going to determine who he wants to fight. But just say he gets that fight. If he fights that Pacquiao fight, does good numbers, beats Porter before that, does good numbers, it's going to be hard for that fight to be 50-50 fight. That fight, at best is going to be 60-40 for Errol Spence, due to the pay-per-view numbers, due to the revenue that each fighter has drawn, due to the TV ratings each fighter has drawn. I think it's going to be very, very tough for Crawford and Barham to get a 50-50 deal. And I think the way Crawford's been talking, he's not only a great fighter, but he's a proud fighter. And I think he thinks he's the best fighter out there, pound-for-pound fighter. Number one. So I don't think he's going to be willing to take a 50-50 deal fighting anybody. He's not going to take it unless if he fight Pacquiao. He probably wouldn't take less than 50-50 fighting Pacquiao. But anybody outside of that, at the welterweight division, he's not going to take a less than 50-50 deal. And I think that's going to be the proverbial obstacle that's going to probably prevent this fight from happening. I hope I'm wrong. Hope these guys get together in 2020, but the monetary is going to come into this play of this fight and negotiation, and I think it's going to make it very, very difficult for this fight to happen. But as far as the matchup goes, what Terrence is going to do, just say if they do have him, Terrence is a very smart fighter. He's going to try to take away Errol Spence's number one weapon. Many people look at Errol, they say, "Oh man, Errol, he's a vicious body puncher," which he is. Errol is a attack mode type of fight. He breaks you down, a good uppercut, and he just bangs on you and just brutalizes you, which he does. But his number one weapon is his jab. Errol Spence got the best jab in boxing. Well, he's got the best jab in the welterweight division. Him and Terrence Crawford. They both got good jabs, but I think Errol's jab is real stiff, man. It's like a punishing jab, man. It's like hitting you with a hammer. It's a punishing jab, and I think Terrence is going to try to take that away and out-jab him. He's going to try to out-jab the jabber. And that's what it's going to come down to. That's going to be 50% of the fight is whose jab is more effective and who can take away the other one's jab. And that's what Terrence is going to try to do. He's going to try to take Spence's number one weapon away, and that's the jab. Because when he was fighting Mikey, even though he's fighting on the back foot a lot in that fight, he used the jab to control distance and keep Mikey Garcia at bay. Mikey never could get through that jab. And the same thing in the Carol Book fight when Errol was fighting. He didn't fight on the back foot. He was coming forward, but he was coming forward using his jab. He was using that jab to come forward, get inside, and he eventually broke down Kell Brook and stopped him late in that fight. And that's what he's going to probably do with, I think you're going to see more of the Errol Spence that fought Kell Brook, because Kell Brook is a boxer, kind of like Terrence Crawford in that same mode. And I think Errol's going to do the same thing with him. He's going to try to break him down, whittle him down. He know he's going to probably have difficulties early in the fight like he did with Kell Brook. It's going to be very competitive early in the fight. Terrence might be ahead early in the fight, but I think slowly but surely, Terrence Errol Spence is gonna try to, turn that pressure up, turn that heat up. You're going to go from 75 degrees to 85 degrees to 95 degrees to 105 degrees, 110. You're going to keep trying to turn that temperature up, keep turning that temperature up, hoping that Terrence Crawford will wilt under that heat and that pressure that Errol Spence is going to bring to him throughout that fight. The difference is, I think Terrence Crawford is going to be is in a much better condition and much better more fresher fighter than Kell Brook was at that time. Kell Brook had just got through getting beat by Triple G. He had moved up to 160, come down to 147. So all that came into play as he wilted down in the second half of that fight. That's not going to be the case with Terrence Crawford. He's going to still be fresh, and he's still going to be in that mentality of that he's a dog and that he's going to be trying to box, and give him different looks and change the platform up on Errol Spence. That's one good thing that Terrence does, man. He gives you different looks. He don't give you the same look twice. He changes it up on you. He'll come out there boxing. He'll go to softball, switch back to orthodox. He might come out in the southpaw stance. You expecting him to come out in the orthodox stance. He gives you different platforms, different angles, different looks. And he's going to be doing that for a while. But if he senses that Errol is starting to get to him and Errol's pressure and heat that he's going to be bringing to him is starting to kind of get the momentum on his side, Terrence Crawford will sit down and go toe-to-toe with Errol and try to back Errol up. Try to bang with him, hit him with some shots, hit him with something that'll get to kind of stall Errol Spence's momentum, so to say. And that's what's going to make it for this is a great fight, a true 50-50 fight. I'm just giving you a pre-fight analysis as we get, if the fight ever gets made, in the week of the fight, I will give you a prediction on that fight, but I'm just kind of giving you the storyline of how that fight's going to play out. It's going to be a fight that's on a high level, highly competitive, highly skilled, highly willed, and this is going to be a great fight, man. Despite what BOMAC said, which I think is just his undaunting belief in excuse me, his undaunting belief in Terrence Crawford is why he's making those statements. He just believes like I said, he believes that Crawford is a great fighter. He's an all-time great. He look at him in the same. He think he's gonna go down on the same as Floyd Mayweather Jr., Sugar Ray Leonard. Of that ilk. I think he truly believes that, and that's why he says that he thinks Errol's a good fighter, but he just thinks he's compared to Crawford, he's an average fighter, which he's not. He's an elite level fighter. I got him actually number 2 on my pound for pound list. A lot of people want to argue about, well, who's a pound for pound? Is it Lomachenko? Is it Canelo? Is it Crawford? Yeah, Crawford is the only one I see that that's in the argument. I don't put Canelo or Lomachenko in that argument. I got Crawford number 1. I got Spence number 2. I got Lomachenko number 3. I got Canelo number 4, and I got Deontay Wilder number 5. Everybody want to talk about Inu and those guys down there in the lower weights, man. Those guys don't count, man. Anybody watching them? Inu and all of them. I seen him fight. He's a great fighter, man. But he's fighting guys at that class that's just. They're not on the level of the classes that Deontay Wilder's got to deal with at heavyweight. Errol and Terrence got to deal with at welterweight. You got good fighters at that weight class. Canelo at middleweight and super middleweight that he's fighting. Now he's fighting at light heavyweight. He's fighting top-tier fighters. You got to also put into play when you talk about pound-for-pound fighters, the fighters that's in the running, the fighters in their weight classes they got to deal with. Inu and all them guys down there in the flyweight classes, where the lower weights. It's not anybody at their weight class that you looking at as a pound for pound in their weight class. So he knew he's dominating. Give him credit. He's dominating. He's playing at a high level and fighting at a high level. And that's good. But you got to look at the competition in his weight class. It just doesn't match up to the heavyweight division or the welterweight division or even the lightweight division where Lomachenko at. He's down there with a lot of tough competition. He's getting ready to fight Comey. Teofimo Lopez winner. You got Devin Haney that's looking strong. You got a lot of good fighters over there from 126 to 135. So those guys are competing against top-tier opponents at their weight classes, and they're proving to be the number 1 guys at those particular weight classes at the moment. So that's why I've got those guys top 5, and I don't put a guy like Inu in the top 5 that other prognosticators do, boxing analysts, and people on YouTube and boxing media put up there. I don't do that. So we'll see what transpires. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, fights get made. Both guys got business to take care of. Errol Spence is in a tough fight with Sean Showtime Porter. Terrence Crawford got to get through his mandatory against the against the Green Machine. Aegis Kavalauskas, the #1 contender, the mandatory. Mandatory hasn't been called, but I guess they're going to try to get that out the way in the December 14th, Madison Square Garden, after the Heisman Trophy ceremony. And hopefully those two guys get through those two fights, and they'll get one step closer to hopefully fighting sometime in 2020. But as I said earlier, I think it's going to be tough. Hopefully it does get made. We'll see. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I holla.